Hello, how are you guys tonight? Sorry, I was checking to make sure my sound was on last week. I forgot to turn the sound on. Welcome to another episode of Stampin' with Candace. I'm Candace Anderson coming to you live from Hiram, Utah. Hopefully, some of you can join me live. If not, I hope you enjoy the replay. I'm excited to share my project with you tonight. Um, if you've been following along, on my Instagram or my Facebook page or even my blog. Got them on all three this time. Um, I've been participating in a Christmas card challenge. Technically, I've been participating in two different Christmas card challenges. One is a card a day in November, and the other one is a 30-day Christmas card making challenge. And I've had a lot of fun trying to combine both challenges onto the same card if possible, or similar cards. So be sure to check them out. I've had some fun things, but today I am combining both challenges again. And I have a few extra samples. Originally, I was going to go live on a card a day in November. Uh, for this card, and he ended up switching me. So I will be going, you get an extra bonus. I will be going live on Thursday for that one instead. So we'll have an extra bonus card, but I have a few extra cards to share with you because of that. But I'm excited to share this technique. It may be out there, it may have been seen before. I don't know, but I was trying to play around and figure out how to make a faux buffalo check technique. If you don't know what buffalo check is, I should have grabbed a picture, but it's basically your black and white or black and red, like the big squares that go across and they overline, and then some are lighter, some are darker. Anyway, actually, let's just 1 second. I had to look it up, uh, which is why I want to kind of share it with you so you can see what I'm talking about here. Um, here's a nice big one that I can maybe pull up. We'll see. Um, let's see if I can switch views and you can see this. So this is what I'm talking about, the black and red, or sometimes it's black and white checkered. Uh, so I'm going to turn this one back off. Uh, I guess I could have left it on there for a second. Um, I'm also going to be doing the Buffalo Check is the card a day in November challenge. It's warm and cozy Christmas, cocoa mugs, sweaters, mittens, Buffalo Check patterns. That's the idea behind that card. So for the Christmas card challenge, we're going to turn this one back on for a second. This is the layout for the Christmas card challenge. I don't know if I can move that up so you can see it better, but basically it's this card with a few little um, strips on it and an image. And so this is the layout I'm going to be using for my card tonight. It's not the ones for my other samples, but it's what I'm going to be using tonight. So we are going to turn this one back off, and we're going to switch cameras here and get started. And I'm hoping I've turned the chat thing on, so hopefully I can see if you're chatting this time, my note on the Christmas card challenge. So if you were with me last week, or you saw on the list of things that you need, um, you can follow along and make one. So I am using, they are called the Stampin' Up! Masking paper. I will be honest, I did not originally buy these, and now I have one full sheet left. I have found so many uses for this. If you've watched my videos, you can see I have used this in lots of different things over the time. I've just found lots and lots and lots of uses. I need to buy some more. I highly recommend getting this if you don't have it. You could probably do this technique without it, but I will be honest, I think it's probably a lot easier with it. And that's because the whole thing is sticky. So I have just cut it in a bunch of 3/4 inch strips. So I have some of them the long way and some of them the short way for this. And before I do the background, I'm going to actually do a few of the little elements on it because it's going to make a big mess on my background here. So I'm going to show you kind of the elements. Like I said, when I showed you that picture and do I have it? Oh, yep, I do. So here's just a small one. You can kind of see this is the layout that I'm doing. So I've done a couple of things here. I have used the Forever Plaid and I've just embossed a little piece of black here. I have a little piece of red. And then I am using this really, really fun. Um, it is the Silent Snowfall paper. So it comes white and you can kind of make it whatever color you want. And we're going to do something with that here in just a second. And I did use the stitched circles to cut this out. And the 2 stamp sets I am using is Weekend Adventures. So instead of using this cup, I'm using the little mug from Weekend Adventures. I'm using this Love This Place. I'll show you what I'm going to do with that here in a second. And then I am going to use, well, I used the whipped topping on one. I'm going to use the marshmallows on this one. And I did cut them out with the matching dies. I know the dies are on the Last Chance, but the stamp set itself is not. Not quite sure. I'm guessing they're having a hard time getting the dies. But so we are going to, this is the pieces that we're going to be working with. Oh, and I am using the little teeny tiny heart that is in this one. Such a fun, cute stamp set. It ties with the uh, camping, um, what is it? Scrapbooking kit. So we are going to grab some ink here. I'm actually going to be using the cherry cobbler. My paper is real red, but I wanted the cherry cobbler because it kind of jumps out a little bit more. And I'm just going to stamp a bunch of little hearts on this piece. So the idea is to kind of just have a little bit of variety on these 3 little pieces. So one of them is embossed. The other one is the embossed specialty paper, and we're going to have a little bit of fun with that here in a second. And this one I am pre-stamping on. And I've already stamped my my little mug here. And so I am going to use my blender pens, and this is Pool Party. Most of my cards that I've made, I've added in this pool party. I just really like the look of the pool party um, with the reds and blacks. So I'm just gonna kind of do that. And then we're gonna blend it all together with the lighter one. I don't know why, but this color, I just really like it on the mug. Maybe it's because a restaurant I used to go to had mugs like this color. All right. And then I've cut and stamped my marshmallows already, and I'm just going to grab the Wink of Stella, and I am going to make my marshmallows kind of sparkly just because it's cute. That's why. So on this little piece, I just have a 1/2 inch little piece, and I'm going to grab my Memento ink. And this is it says love this place, but I only want the love this. So I'm just going to kind of go on the edge. There's enough room that I can do it without getting the place. And then we're going to stamp it about in the middle here. All right, let's move some of this stuff out of the way. We are going to use that one here in a second. Try and not get ink all over myself here. Oh, I needed this one for one more second. I'm going to stamp a little heart right here. I really love using this particular stamp set. I've done it a couple times where I haven't used the place. Just love this. And we're gonna turn it into a little tag here. There we go. All right, so we've got most of our pieces all ready to go, with the exception of one. So we're going to move these all out of the way over here. And we're going to do this one, and then I'll show you how to do that faux background. So we're going to take our blending brush and our pool party. And this is really fun. Remember to start off so that you get a nice blend. But because this is embossed and it's white, we can make all those little snowflakes kind of pop. If you want to, you could go through and add a little bit of Wink Stella if you want. It does look kind of fun on it, but I'm not going to do that with this one. Make them kind of sparkle. And you'll notice that the snowflakes kind of pop a little bit more. They catch a little bit more light. Hopefully you can there you go. You can kind of see that. So we're going to set that one aside. And I'm going to grab one that's kind of mostly dry because I don't want this all wet at the moment, but I want to kind of get some of that extra ink off of there. Didn't get a whole lot of ink on here. Okay, so now for the fun part. Let's re-unfold this one. And we can move all of our pieces over to the side here. And now we have a 4 by 5 1/4. The glass mat really, really works nice for this. So I'm just going to kind of line it up on the edges here. I've done this a couple different ways. And if I remember correctly, it's easiest to do my short ones first. So my short ones, the cut is in the middle, so they actually come off relatively easy. And I'm just going to put it across here and across here. And the thing I like about this is it's going to stick completely down. So then I can use this to go up 3/4 so I can keep my spacing the same. And we're just going to line that one up. It doesn't have to be perfect. And then we're going to do this one. And we'll do this last one here. All right. And then we're going to do the same thing with the long one. These ones are a little bit trickier because you don't have the cut. So you have to take your pick tool or a fingernail or something to get it to line up, or to get the backing off. That's what I was trying to say. All right, maybe here, maybe. I'll get it off, I promise. 1, 2, 3. Just gonna line that one up. And I think you need 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, if I remember correctly. You'll want an extra one though, because when you go to move them, I think you end up needing an extra one. I can't remember off the top of my head, to be honest. Should have pre got the backers off on these and made it a little faster. All right. Thank you for your patience. So, okay, we needed 3 and 3, and I have an extra of each one. So I'm going to take my black ink, my Memento, and I'm getting it all over my hands. And I'm just going to use the blending brush. Now, the first time you do it, you want to go kind of light. Um, just adding a little bit of color. Remember to start off so that you're not getting a stark, you don't want it to be like this. You don't want that on your paper. So if you start off or start on the white part, then that can kind of help make sure that you're not getting it on your paper. However, at the same time, you want to kind of be careful. I'm making a mess here and I shouldn't be, because I did learn that you want to try and keep it away from these edges. I'm going to wipe off some of this here because I don't want the ink here when I go to move these. So what I'm going to actually do is I am going to pull very carefully. We're going to lift this one and we're going to move it over the one we just had. And a bone folder can kind of help you push it back down and get it flat again. The other thing I've learned is you want to kind of try and not go really fast. You want to try and keep these from curling. If you pull it up really fast, it will curl on you, and then it is a lot harder to try and stick back down. Um, so you just want to kind of carefully and try and go straight up as much as possible. So you can lift it, and then we're going to move it over here. And smooth it back down. And then we're going to do the same thing. This time we want to press a little bit harder so we can start getting a little bit more definition. Uh, Remember that checked pattern, the buffalo pattern has several different degrees of the black on the color. So this time we want to get a little bit more ink, press a little bit harder on it. And you'll notice I'm going in a circular motion that helps give it a more even look. I've also noticed it kind of gives that, I don't know, if you look at the patterns, they're kind of almost like I could see it doing with lots of little teeny lines. I'm not going to take the time to do that. But you can see I went a lot darker with it this time. And we're going to get rid of some of this excess again. All right. Now we're going to very carefully pull these ones off and set them to the side. Now, one thing I learned is you'll notice there's a little tiny bit of white. It's kind of hard to see, but I'm not going to lift it up. But where it didn't quite lay over, you can kind of take your brush and just kind of blend that just a little bit before you take it off. But you can see we have the darker and then the lighter. Now we're going to take these ones. I'm going to start with this one down here. Maybe. Got them on there nice and good. Again, I want to go really slow and I want to try and kind of lift it up, not roll it, because rolling it is what makes it um, harder to put back down. It curls it. So we just kind of want to lift it up and then we are going to move it. The key to this one is we want to make sure that we're lining it back up into the same spot because we need to put these back over and we want to make sure we can see them, but once we move them all, you're not gonna be able to see where it is unless we line them up properly. Again, you also wanna be careful because you don't wanna tear your bottom paper. It is designed to come off, but it can tear that bottom paper, so just be really careful on that. And the other thing I do recommend is having some Scotch tape, because if you have to, you can tape these edges to here once you get it all moved, just to make sure that they stay down. Because by the time you get to this last one, it does like to not, they like to curl, I have learned, which is why we have extras just in case. But we are going to grab some tape, and I'm just going to tape those edges down so that hopefully they stay put. And then we're going to add these ones back over the top of it here. And it really doesn't matter which one you put it over. See if I can straighten that up a little bit. You know what? If I remember right, I started with that one on this edge. So I am going to actually go back to this edge to do it. Ah, yes, when you get to the last ones, they get a little bit more finicky. But the look is cool, so it's worth it. All right. And then we're going to put this one here. The other nice thing about the um, glass mat when you're doing this is it makes it easy to pull these up and off the um, glass. All right. And then we're going to do our last one. And this one we're going to do really dark. And hopefully I layered them all in the right order, which means you'll have one that is still left completely red. All right. Close that up. And then I'm going to pull this off. Still kind of trying to go carefully, pulling it off. And it is very sticky. Well, it is, but it isn't. They like to stick to each other in my fingers, though. That is for sure. We're going to pull those off. And before we finish anything, we are going to clean this off and clean my fingers off. I like to have wet wipes or Clorox wipes handy so I can clean this off and clean my fingers. You can see I got ink all over them. That's when you have to go to dishes so you can get all the ink off your fingers. Or we just go to work with inky fingers, one or the other. Either one works, but I don't want to get ink on my project. So I'm going to try and get some of it off of my hand. I did warn you it was a little bit messy. All right. I'm going to try and dry that off really quick. Dry my hands off. And then I'll show you. This is what it looks like when it's finished. So going the different levels of darkness, you get kind of your different checked patterns and colors and stuff on it. So you get the kind of light, dark, and then the white, the red coming through. It looks really cool when you have the black with the white as well. And we're just going to finish this card off really quick here for you. We'll add some adhesive to this one. And then I will show you my other ones that I made. So we're going to start with this. You can see the layout that we're doing right here. I'm just going to add a little bit of this here. And on this one. And we'll finish it off with this one. And I'm going to grab some dimensionals. A little mini one back here. Pop the marshmallows off on here. And we'll grab some. I have some big ones handy. Some bigger ones for the back of this. All right. Then add our little snowflake. The last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add some baker's twine, and I've just cut a little piece here, and I'm actually going to just fold it in half like that and tie it into a little bow, kind of a big little bow. I don't know. Like so. And I'm going to use my mini glue dots, and I am going to find the end one, attach it just kind of right there like so. And I am going to attach this over the top of it. Before I do that, I'm going to double stack some dimensionals on the end here. So, well, maybe if they'll stay stuck to it instead of my fingers. I want that just a little bit shorter, so I am going to just cut that. I did not cut it very straight. There we go. So we can have this sticking out kind of behind it. If it wants to work with me here, maybe. All right, and to finish it off, I'm going to grab some of these little peppermints, and I'm actually going to add a little peppermint or two in with our little marshmallows, and then we'll add do some of the bigger ones here and a little one just to finish it off. And there we go. Are super cute. So we've got the 30-day sketch challenge here, and then we've got the buffalo background with the cozy, warm, hot cocoa. So this one right here is my other one. This one I used the whipped topping. And then I've got a couple more samples here. This was my first one that I made where I used the full More Than Autumn set. And I believe I took this one. I don't remember what other Christmas. This is the white, doing it with the white background. And I used crumb cake on this one. And then I have another one with the white. This is an older mug set that I had, and I used the Wink of Stella on the mug on that one. And last but not least, the sending a jar full of cheer. This is the Christmas jar set that I used for my challenge yesterday, but I've used the buffalo check on there as well. So lots of cute ways to use this background. I hope you enjoyed that and that you were able to follow along with me. If you weren't able to follow along, you can come back, catch the replay, follow along. I would love to see your samples. You can join my Stampin' Fun with Candace. I think that's what it's called. I had to do a different name for my group, but that's the easiest one that you can share and share your creations in. But you can also join at either of the Christmas card challenges, share your stuff in those as well. Share it in the comments. I would love to see your creations. I do have a bunch of events coming up for November. This month is my 20th anniversary as a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I will have those lists up on my blog. You can sign up for an email, and I will email those out as well. Um, or you can check out on my calendars and stuff. Remember, you can order any of the products at Candice, Candice.Anderson at stampinup.net. Sorry, usually it's along the front here, and it's not. I don't know why. Must have forgot to put my name on there. So I hope you enjoy. Thank you again for joining me, and have a fantastic night. Bye bye.